Coming up on Tech Edge, it's election season. Hi, my name is Guy Trainin and this is Tech Edge. And today we're going to talk about elections. And I'm going to start with two apps that I've talked about in other shows, but I think are important in this context, and that is the Constitution app and the Presidency. So they lay the foundation for talking about the current elections. Then I'd like to talk about some apps that really help students get a sense of what's going on in Congress and what's going on in the elections right now. So let's start with the Constitution, where we should start when talking about elections. The Constitution app really allows students to explore the Constitution, the text, which is of primary importance, but then anything else that comes with it will show up on this app and allow you to get some notes to understand what it is, when it was written, who participated in writing it, and really set the foundation to talking about elections, about civics, and really there's so much talk about the Constitution recently, which is fantastic, but we want to give kids access to the original document and what it says. You can look at all the signers. George Washington is of course first, but everybody else that signed it, and then the famous painting of the occasion where the Constitution was signed. So this is the Constitution app. The next app I want to talk about is the Presidency, because students need to have a sense of where we came from and who were presidents, what parties they were from, and the Presidency, the American Presidency app really helps you locate this. It works through the pictures of the different presidents all the way to the current president. So if we choose a past president, let's say Harding, you get a short description of his presidency, the timeline, the fact that his party affiliation, and a picture. So this is called the American Presidency, and the app itself is called Presidency. The next one I want to talk about is actually from a company I've talked about before, and that is Scape. And the Scape way of doing things is to have cards with questions, and you respond to those questions, so you don't necessarily learn as much as you practice. And while you do that, you say, how sure are you of your response? So it has a way to evaluate what questions to ask again and again and again until you're sure of them. So here is one such example. I started doing the US Constitution piece, and you get a question. In this case, what are the special powers of the Senate? And if you know or if you don't know, you can tap to see the answer. Tries all impeachments, convicts or acquits. And I'm thinking, I did not have a very good sense of this. So it's a 2, which means this question will come back very, very soon, and you get the next question. And what you can see is on top, there's a bar with colors, and the reds are the items you did not know at all, and as it advances towards blue, these are the items you know well. And this is a really nice app. It has a lot in it. You can divide it up in different ways. You can get your statistics, so you can see how many you have in each one of those categories and what's your percentage. And that really helps rehearse some concept. Now I'd like to take you to two apps about Congress. And Congress is not really popular right now, but people also don't have a lot of knowledge. Definitely kids don't have a lot of knowledge. And I want to go to two apps. One is called My Congress. And in My Congress, what you get is a lot of information about every member of Congress. And since we're from Nebraska, we're going to look by state, and we're going to look for the Nebraska representatives. And in this case, this is not Nebraska. Nebraska. And for example, Senator Mike Johans. And what you get immediately is a picture and a short description of that person's history, where they were born, when they were elected, and those kind of things, where they're from. And then you get feeds from that member of Congress, whatever they have. So you get a YouTube feed, in this case, Senator Johanns has a YouTube feed with a channel with quite a bit on it, but there's no Twitter feed for him. And there's also news that are associated with him. So you get these 3 columns and you can drill down and actually watch whatever's available. So the content is available, and it really depends on what your representative has to offer and what they use. So this is a great instrument. The next one I want to explore, and I know I'm going a little bit quickly, but this gets me really excited. I love elections. I think politics is important, and I don't think we always teach enough kids about it. We're afraid of the arguments and the potential partisanship that might erupt even in a classroom, but there are ways to think about having these discussions in a positive and productive way without getting into the politics and what they mean, just to explore. Congressional Record is actually an app from the Library of Congress, and in Congressional Record you can see what Congress has discussed in any given day from the 1970s on. So you can go to today, Monday, September 17th. You can say, okay, this is the day I want, and you can see what the Senate is doing. And this is what the Congressional Record about the Senate today will be. Not a very busy day in the Senate. Or you can go historically and explore back what they were doing in 1997, let's say, same day in 1997. And that will allow you to look at the House, let's say, and it takes a second to load, but it does allow you to see what Senate and the House of Representatives are discussing over time. Last, I would like to show you an app that really talks about the campaigns that are going on right now and the election that's going right now, and this is called Electoral Vote. And this is a free app, and it shows what a lot of other sites shows, and that is the results of polling and the division by state. So you can see what the overall presidential election is going on, but also how the president is doing, the president and the challenger are doing in other states. So you can see those splits. You can also explore the map and the news from different sources that allow you to explore what's going on with election. Another app called Campaign 2012, and obviously this is one that will disappear after the campaign is done. And again, this tries to get sources of information from different points and really concentrate them in one place. There are, as you can see here, Obama videos and Romney videos. There are news for both major candidates. But actually what I like about this is this view in which you can see not just the main 2 candidates for the 2 parties, but actually see the other candidates from the Green Party, Libertarian Party, Independent, and Justice Party. Campaign 2012 is the name of the app, and this is the last app that I'm going to talk about elections. So I'll see you next time on Tech Edge.